The KLM Flight Academy is located at Groningen Airport, Eelde. Since the foundation, back in 1946, of the then Government Civil Aviation Flying School, over 1,500 men and women have been trained as air transport pilots. In 1954, the flying school moved to Eelde. It was in 1991 that the flying school was privatized and the new name, KLM Luchtvaartschool, was introduced. In order to meet the growing demand for well-trained air transport pilots, the KLM Flight Academy offers training in which quality and safety come first. However, the Academy does not only provide training for air transport pilots. An expert maintenance division and other interesting services belong to it as well, and for this they have a multitude of facilities. The KLM Flight Academy does its utmost best to fulfill the wishes of its customers. The KLM Flight Academy, at your service. The main activity of the KLM Flight Academy is ab initio training for air transport pilots. Each year about 1,000 young persons apply for admission. Naturally, it is impossible to accept everyone. Only after a strict selection does the actual admission take place. The selection is done in different stages, and the applicants find it intensive and thorough. They have to undergo psychotechnical, flight technical and flight medical tests. Eventually, those students who stand a fair chance of completing the training successfully are admitted.
A commercial airline pilot is every little boy's dream. And being a student at the KLM Flight Academy is a challenge. And to me, the responsibility and the travel attracted me to this very fascinating form of transport.
During the course, which takes about 2 years, the student is given practical training as a commercial pilot and theoretical education for air transport pilot's license. During the training, the student lives at the boarding school, which is located on the premises of the academy.
This afternoon we're going to practice IFR outbound flights. We're going to do the RT. The theory of the SIDs we are going to do is, I think, known. The SID, Standard Instrument Departure, is what we're going to do now, not...
About 1,000 hours of the total training time are spent on theory. Students have to do exams in avionics, instrumentation, air law, psychological and physiological aspects of aviation, meteorology, engines, navigation, aerodynamics and radiotelephony.
Taxi to holding point, runway 01 left via inner track.
Taxi to holding point, runway 01 left via inner track, KLM 860.
In addition, there is a practical part, which consists of about 175 hours pilot flying. The types of aircraft used are the Slingsby Firefly, the Beechcraft Bonanza and the Cessna Citation. Using the Citation, students fly all over Europe. The students first fly under supervision of an instructor, then they fly solo, and later they fly with a fellow student. After that first solo flight, the student is initiated by his fellow students.
KLM Operations, goedemiddag met Hanne Kwallen.
Bureau Flight Operations is an important link in the organisation. The Bureau has a coordinating task. Before 2 p.m, the flight instructors submit their planning for the next day. The planning is recorded on the planning board. Changes are possible and are handled immediately. The Bureau can contact the aircraft in the air directly.
Papa Bravo Romeo, are you ready to copy the clearance? The Papa Bravo Romeo is cleared for takeoff runway 23, call me out at 1000.
Besides the actual flying, training also takes place by means of simulators, 120 hours in all. The GAT, or General Aviation Trainer, is mainly used in primary training for basic instrument flying. It is also used for selection of candidate pilots. The next step is training in the Bonanza simulator. This is equipped with an exact copy of the cockpit interior of the actual type and is fitted with a daylight visual system. The full flight Phase 2 citation simulator cannot be distinguished from the real Cessna citation. Fire in the engines or emergency landings can be simulated. That's how the student learns to react adequately to emergency situations. But it takes more than theory and flight hours to become a good pilot. For optimal safety, the functioning of the human being plays an important part. Therefore, a lot of attention is paid to the non-technical training during the program as well. Coping with stress, sense of responsibility, and teamwork are taught. At the beginning of their course, the students are also trained by means of the outward bound method.
Papa Whiskey Delta, taxi runway 05 to enter the 19 and report ready for departure.
It's already Papa Whiskey Alpha, holding point 19 is ready for departure.
After all, good cooperation in the cockpit is indispensable. The KLM Flight Academy also provides basic flight and instructor training for the Royal Netherlands Naval Aviation Service. This training overlaps almost completely with the single engine part of the training for air transport pilot. About 600 hours are spent on theory because lessons are only given in subjects that will be examined. The basic naval flight training takes about 12 months. Having completed this, the student is chosen for flying naval patrol aeroplanes or helicopters, and this specialization takes place elsewhere. Besides the basic naval flight training, there is the Naval Flight Instructors Training. This takes about 12 weeks. The KLM Flight Academy also retrains flight engineers, helicopter pilots and Air Force pilots to become air transport pilots. The KLM flight engineers follow the same flight program as the ab initio students. Because they already have knowledge of aviation, they follow fewer theory lessons. This takes 15 months. Pilots of the KLM Era Helicopters Company, a daughter company of KLM, can also take retraining courses. Their retraining takes 10 weeks. And F-16 fighter pilots can be retrained in 7 weeks. The 3 types of aircraft that are used at the school are inspected every 50 to 100 flight hours. Each part is checked to see whether it should be repaired or replaced, and the maintenance goes all the way from engine to compass systems. The warehouse has the most current spare parts in stock.
Our technical department is an integral part of the KLM Flight Academy. What we do is maintaining all the aircraft owned by the KLM Flight Academy. The maintenance consists of preventive maintenance and complaint maintenance, and the maintenance itself is performed by highly skilled engineers.
In aviation, much use is made of electronics, for instance for communication. There are technical experts at the KLM Flight Academy to test and repair avionics. Good control requires precision and concentration. Therefore, high demands are made on people and equipment. The KLM Flight Academy also provides training for third parties. The private flight school van der Sichtenhorst, for instance, uses the facilities of the Academy for their theoretical training for air transport pilot license. The Academy has training equipment at your service. For example, the Citation Simulator, an exact copy of the real Citation 500.
You're now looking at our Citation Simulator, which is one of the most advanced training systems in the world. Built by CAE, this new full flight simulator is not only used for citation type rating training, but also for line-oriented flight training and to acquaint pilots with a multi-engine jet aircraft, a modern glass cockpit and a flight management system. Especially for cockpit resource management and for human factors training, we also installed a video system to be used for the debriefing. This simulator not only made it possible to reduce the amount of actual flying hours considerably, but it also helps to improve the overall quality of our student pilots.
The aeroplanes of the KLM Flight Academy are not only used for lessons. Other flights are also carried out, for instance, for members of the royal family and government officials. The Academy also takes care of swift transportation of transplant organs. And furthermore, the Citation calibration aircraft is used for in-flight checks of the landing and navigation equipment at Dutch airports. The KLM Flight Academy makes the same high-quality demands upon its own aeroplanes as upon the aeroplanes of its customers. The Academy has a high-standard general aviation maintenance facility with more than 45 years' experience in the maintenance of aircraft and equipment. The Netherlands authorities have authorized the Academy to undertake the repair and maintenance of the Slingsby Firefly, the Beechcraft Bonanza and the Cessna Citation 500 series. The KLM Flight Academy offers you quality and professionalism.